When a narcissist tries to mess with Sigma INFJ boundaries, this is what they get. Imagine you're engaging yourself in a relationship or friendship with a narcissist and are playing mind games against them. At first, it's exciting, and the love bombing is warm and fuzzy. Then, just as you begin to believe that this is heaven on earth, patterns begin to emerge. Be on the lookout for these and evaluate whether or not you can deal with what's to come. In the event that you have any doubts, shut the door and leave immediately. If you feel that you can handle it mentally and, at times, physically, then you should activate Code Red and get ready for the fight. Observe as all the sub-characters that have been carefully hidden, concealed, and suppressed launch themselves out at you with vehemence and frustration, and with much volume and temper tantrums, and sometimes sheer unbridled anger, as you quietly deploy your defenses and dig your heels in. Put a grin smile and show that you actually don't need them, and then door slam them. Silently close the door and then leave. No contact, the battle won. That's what you should do when a narcissist is trying to mess with your boundaries. Your emotional resilience will determine how long you're willing to keep playing, but it all depends on you. But one thing is for sure, you have to walk away because there's almost certain that you'll suffer if you battle them for long. Make the fight a quick and intense, and then walk away. That's how Sigma INFJ deal with a narcissist. And I will say, again and again, having no contact and walking away is the best way to break free from a narcissist. Maintain the limits that have been set, hold dear to your boundaries, ignore the love bombing, and most importantly, move on. Yes, this video is about a Sigma INFJ dealing with a narcissist. So, without further ado, let's see what happens when a narcissist is trying to mess with a Sigma INFJ boundaries. While you're here, please help to smash that like button below. Subscribe to this channel if this is your first time here, and let's begin. 1. They make sure to let the narcissist knows their boundaries from the start. INFJs will never get tired of stressing and re-stressing their own boundaries. Because they are conscious individuals, they're able to make decisions about their own behavior and live their life according to what they desire without hurting or crossing other people's boundaries. As I said, people have different boundaries and also different ways to express them. What matters is that each of them must be aware of and adhere to their own rules. For example, how can they expect others to know if it's appropriate for them to nod at someone's request on a daily basis if they themselves are confused if it's suitable for them to do so? It's true that INFJs don't have to sort everything out on the fly, but with this approach, people are able to have a better understanding of their personal boundaries. This means that INFJs must reaffirm and demand that those who they interact with in the course of their daily lives conform to these principles. 2. They will not accept any breach of their established boundaries. If a narcissist still insists on invading their personal space or another important part of their lives, they will not easily tolerate it. Since this is the point at which things get much more difficult, the narcissist may suffer the most embarrassment of any possible consequence. It's not uncommon for an INFJ to respond and behave in accordance with their values if their boundaries are pushed too far. They can't just sit back and watch while the narcissist crosses the line over and over again. It's unlikely that an INFJ will fume calmly and do nothing when their boundaries are invaded. Sigma INFJs are unafraid to stick to the rules they laid forth and will not compromise in any way because they know their boundaries are among the few things that can protect them from any dangerous situation. 3. They'll be more and more consistent as time goes on. They become more harsh and callous when they see someone frequently crossing their boundaries without caring how they feel. During the early stages of a relationship, they may let things go since probably they're not clear enough with stating their boundaries. But it doesn't mean people can just make use of this situation as an excuse because they'll enforce their boundaries each time a narcissist tries to cross them. In the phase of adjustment, only a tiny fraction of people are eager to modify their habits. So they know that continuing to interact in this unconstrained manner is destructive to their peace. They, therefore, try their best to be consistent with their boundaries regardless of how the other person might take it when they see a recurring attempt of boundary violations. They do not believe that it's their need to behave in a delicate manner around people who continuously attempt to offend them. For the sake of their sanity, Sigma INFJs prioritize and cultivate their own sense of tranquility. Now that you've reached this point, do you feel that your boundaries are strong enough against narcissists and clever manipulators? They will not hesitate to lash out at the narcissist who invades their personal boundary. INFJs have a strong desire for others to see things the way they do, yet this can come across as a superiority complex or a sense of intimidation. As a result, INFJs are unsure if they may have been too harsh and partly responsible for the distress caused by their offender's behavior. But then again, they don't think it's their fault because they already make their boundaries clear from the start. When someone transgresses someone else's boundaries, it should be them who needs to feel guilty and remorse for their actions, not the other way around. For narcissists to know what they're doing, the INFJ will not hesitate to point it out to the narcissist and tell them that what they're doing is never acceptable and that they should change their behavior. The narcissists will be reminded of the repercussions of breaking someone else's rules without a second thought. The INFJ is actually trying to prevent the connection from getting irrevocably destroyed, despite the fact that this may come out as dismissive, and yes, narcissists would find it irritating. 5. At the end of the day, they must have their inner peace back the way as before. INFJs realized that they needed to give themselves a lot of love in order to have a solid foundation for their boundaries. Instead of pretending not to be offended by everyone around them, they should constantly remind themselves that they will never again put up with someone injuring them. The iron of chase rule is an instinctual reaction that increases their self-esteem by making them feel better about themselves. Having a story in your thoughts that you're useless because no one likes you will make it harder for you to set boundaries. However, if you keep reminding yourself that this is not the case, your brains will produce feel-good hormones, which will help you change your internal dialogue into a positive one. You would feel more deserving of true affection from there. Therefore, people who keep trying to break their boundaries aren't worthy of their time, and so dismissing them completely is not unreasonable at all. They believe it is only common sense to place the preservation of peace above all else. If you're an INFJ, how do you respond to people who cross your boundaries? In order to keep your peace, have you made sacrifices in important relationships? I hope this brief explanation can be helpful for you. So, what's your opinion about this? I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you have anything in your mind, please don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to be notified of our subsequent videos. Thanks for watching.